Hi there. Welcome to Granny Rocks. And let me see if I can not fall off. Oops. I'm Beth Green. And over there, that guy is.
Sweet Baby James, and I'm here to handle the chat, so please talk to us.
That's right. We're looking forward to it. Well, I have a lot to say tonight. And I would love for some of you to agree with me. So if you do, tell me in the chat. If you don't, well, that's all right. You can tell me too. So tonight's topic is about competition and winning, and are they really good for anybody? And I'm saying, maybe not, but you know that I am actually saying no. So you might need to move your chair a little bit so we can see you better. So anyway, but before we get into that, Sweet Baby James is going to tell you a little something about our show.
Yes, you've come to Granny Rocks, which airs every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time, where Granny shares her wit, her wisdom, and her very uncommon sense with us. So stay tuned and let's see what unfolds.
Yes, indeed. So you know everybody, pretty much everybody, or almost everybody knows that the Olympics are going on, right? So with the Olympics, it's all about competition and let me see.
And winning.
And winning. So I don't see you really well in this image, honey. I think you need to be a little bit more that way.
Sure.
So it's the Olympics! The Olympics! Woo! 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 We've been waiting for years for the Olympics! The Olympics! The Olympics! So anyway, and then in the midst of the Olympics, we have Simone Biles, who is supposedly the greatest athlete in all time.
Gymnast.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping out of the competition. I need to get your face back in. Oh my God, I can't seem to get. There we go.
There we go.
Dropping out of the and she came back for one event, and she cited mental health issues, and it was she was losing track of herself in the air. That is not a good thing if you're flying up in the air if you don't know where you are, right? And this has started a very interesting conversation, and it's not just Simone Biles. There are other athletes too who are talking about stress and competition and mental health issues for athletes. And in fact, I read that 1 out of 3, and now I'm supposed to know whether this is Olympic athletes or professional athletes, but anyway, I don't remember because I don't remember anything. 1 out of 3 acknowledges having mental health issues.
Wow.
Now, that is bad. That is bad. I mean, what is going on? So you say, well, there's so much stress. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, and then there's people like boxers, who are punching each other in the face and in the head or all of that stuff. Anyway, competition. So, but it isn't just sports, and it isn't just the top athletes. It's everybody. We live in a competitive world. I mean, this company is competing with that company for market share.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I'm competing to get my music on Spotify. And everything is competition. In school, like, oh, did you get an A? Oh, yes. Now, here is the irony. The enlightened parent will say, oh my goodness, no. What's important is that you just do your best, right? And then the next minute, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot, first they say to their child, just do your best. And they say, oh, who won the Golden Globes this year? Right?
Right. Or the gold medals.
Or the gold medals.
Or the World Series. Or the Super Bowl.
Exactly. And who's the best player and who's won the Nobel Prize. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God. And you're saying to the child, well, it's fine. Just do your best. Right? But I'm telling you that and of course it's not just the parents. And the schools are a part of this too, of course, because we have grades. A, B, C, D, E, E, F, right? G.
Would you like to hear some of the comments so far?
Yes!
Tracy says hello and sends a heart.
Thank you. Hello,
Love.
Tracy.
Elizabeth Treehart says howdy, sends a heart.
Howdy to you.
And she also says, can't hear James. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
And then Todd says, James's microphone is off. It's on now. Can you hear me? Hi, Beth and James, says Amy. Todd says, now it's on. And then Catalina says, oh, by the way, Todd is sending hugs.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
And Catalina says hello with a big smile.
Hi. Hello.
Yes, hello, hello.
That's lovely. So James did not win the Getting His Voice on the Air award this time, yet again.
I just did my best.
So, yes.
Under the circumstances.
Right. Keep your microphone a little lower, honey. You're
Oh,
chewing
no,
in
no,
and
no,
it's
no.
very
Don't worry about
loud.
it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So anyway, you know, I want to talk about competition and winning because there is an assumption that it's a good thing to win, isn't it?
That is the assumption.
People will say, okay, if there's no shame in losing, they may say that, but they wouldn't even say that if there wasn't a shame in losing or if there wasn't some win in winning, right? I mean, that's really obvious. Nobody would even bother saying there's no shame in winning.
And if you lose, you're going to be called a loser.
Oh, you certainly are. I can just imagine the girl introducing her parents to her new boyfriend. He was the loser of the baseball team. I can just hear it now. Oh, yes, here's Oscar. He's the loser of the baseball team, right? I think it's more likely that she would leave that out. And she would say, oh, but he wins in chess. Something, right? So it's
gotta
like...
have a win somewhere, huh?
You gotta have a win somewhere. I mean, it is like, I'm winning that contract for my company. I won that contract. If you get the position, then you're the winner of the job. May not say the word win, but we all know what you mean, that you won, somebody else lost. So nobody wants to be a loser. Okay, well, actually being a loser isn't so bad, but I want to say some of the reasons why. Because number one, winning alienates us from other people. Because in a lot of different ways, if you think about it,
I have found that just competing alienates me against other people because they are the adversaries. They are the competition.
Exactly. So I win, you lose. There's a separation between us. So it's right there. And it's true. It's with everybody. It also alienates us from ourselves. Because we're so focused on the competition and on winning. It's like, I'm going to push myself. I mean, how did those Olympic athletes get to be like whirling dervishes in the air? Because they pushed themselves. Maybe sometimes they push themselves too much. And that means like, I may not be listening to those warning signals in myself that say, I don't want to do this. If I even allow myself to think, I don't want to do this. Are you keeping your eye on the comments, honey, just in case?
Oh, yeah. And Amy says, hi, James. Your volume is actually too loud and somewhat distorted.
Right, that's what
Okay. I'm a
Thank
man
you.
of extremes.
Yeah, he is.
Thank you, Amy. I adjusted it.
Okay. Anybody else?
That's it.
Okay. So we become alienated from ourselves. We start to become the victims of winning. I won once. Now I have to win again. And now I have to win again. And then I have to win again. And then I have to win again. And then I'm competing with my own record. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's just terrible. And it's so obvious in sports, but it's not just in sports. It's like, I gotta win again. I gotta win again. I gotta win again. This is only my 17th gold medal. If I get 18 gold medals, then I will beat the record of the Russian who got 17 gold medals.
Yeah.
In 1 year. So right now I'm competing against myself. I'm pressuring myself. I'm not paying any attention to myself. It happened to Tiger Woods. I mean, he only won Skedaddle's number of golf tournaments, but he didn't win the
majors.
The majors.
I mean, he didn't hold the record.
He didn't hold the record. It was Jack Nicklaus or somebody else,
yeah,
right?
That was
That's James is like an addict. So that means that he failed. He failed. I mean, the guy only, had a injured back and whatever it is, but it was really important that he break the record. Why? I mean, why? Seriously, why? And then I want to say one more thing about what's the problem with winning, which is kind of related to what I've been saying. It's addictive. There's a rush. Wow, that felt good. And then I want to feel that again.
As I get older and less capable.
And it's a high. I had a client who was a football player, in the majors. And
the NFL.
Right. I mean the major football. Yes, right. It's the NFL. And when he finally had to retire, it was like, oh my God, where's the sugar in my diet? Right?
Where's the rush?
Where's the rush? I got so used to it. And then, of course, people say, oh, isn't that so-and-so? Did you see? Now, this does not happen much in classical music.
Or they might say, didn't you used to be so-and-so?
Right. You can win the Tchaikovsky competition if they still have a Tchaikovsky competition. And probably nobody will stop you on the subway and say, aren't you Vladimir Picklebigger? I'm sure I saw you, But still, you want to go back to that feeling. And that's an addiction, right? Are you beginning to think that maybe winning isn't such a hot thing after all? Now, competition is just all over our society. And I mean, the kids are worrying about their grades. They're in junior high school, and are they going to win, and are they going to get into the better school, and then are they going to get into the graduate school, or are they going to get in the and then are they going to make all the money? And I mean, by the time they're 15, they're nervous wrecks, right?
Yeah.
And this is exactly what's happening. And as I said, even if your parents say, oh, honey, just do the best you can, right? But, oh, did you hear that Gerald won the Ishkabibble Award? Oh, my goodness. But probably the most serious problem, well, from a collective perspective, I mean, these things that I've been talking about are very serious problem for the individual. And, it's even worse if there is national pride associated with it.
Yeah.
Oh, win it for the team, for the country, for our school. Pickle Burger Junior High, win it for us. And then, there's that attitude of go, 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 kill, kill, kill. Right. Now, but there's also a huge deficit for our world. A couple of things come to mind, like right off the bat. One thing is, you may do what you're good at, what you're winning at, not what you love. So, and you don't pursue what you really love. And you might, if you pursued what you loved, you might make a greater contribution in the long run. But you may be going after, it's like, these poor kids who get locked into athletics at a young age, or science, or whatever it is. And they might be missing something else that they could do that would make a better contribution to our world. Like be a mom or a carpenter. And obviously, competition discourages cooperation. Oh yeah, within our team, we may actually cooperate. Maybe.
Unless we're competing for the same position on that team with somebody else.
Exactly. So even within the team, there is often competition. But if the teams are competing with one another, who's worrying about the highest good? Maybe we would get better progress in everything if people got together and try to solve their problems together. Isn't this obvious? Really, isn't it? And oh my God, when you're working in harmony,
it feels better.
Feels so good. You feel supported. You feel supportive. It's really very, very cool. I had an awesome experience today of collaboration, cooperation. There is an artist, a wonderful artist in Italy, and she and I are doing a project together where I play the piano and she paints. And we felt an incredible co-creation. I was connected to her, she was connected to me. We weren't competing.
You also both were improvising. And so coming from the intuition and the spirit, somehow you two were harmonious.
That's absolutely right. It's like we were one. I was deep into myself. And people think, oh, if I don't compete, I'm going to lose my individual expression. No, you won't. No, you won't. I always knew this would be the case, but it actually was the case. So Eliana and I both felt very deeply connected to ourselves, and we felt deeply connected to one another. It was just wonderful. So we are co-creating a piece of art and music, and it's wonderful. And we are hopefully going to be able to make a documentary about this whole experience. So, guys, question your assumption. Just because the whole world is based on competition doesn't mean that it works. It doesn't mean that the only way to do business is in competition. We don't even think of any other way. No, because
I'd like
it's
to
there.
offer a couple of ideas here.
Okay.
Instead of just simply withdrawing from enjoying the activity, Beth and I have come up with a couple of novel ways to play things in a cooperative way. For example, ping pong, table tennis. Instead of competing, we try to keep the ball going for the other person on the other side of the net. And that's a lot of fun. And also in badminton, we call it volleybird. And we try to keep the bird happening back and forth for each other instead of trying to win points.
We used to do this until I had to start protecting my arms to
your
play the
wings
that was
for the
before I
piano.
played the piano. When I was 73, I went back to playing the piano, so I didn't want to do that anymore. But it's just our whole world. What I'm saying is we make assumptions based on our society, based on what our society teaches. I know there are places in the world where there is less competition. And there shouldn't be competition between men and women at all, but there is. Who's going to dominate? Whose needs are going to get met? The kids compete with one another in the family. I would like you to think for a second about how many areas in your life don't you compete? Where do you not want to win? And just really confront this directly and see what could be possible if we actually cooperated
And met each other's needs.
and met each other and supported one another to do our best work so that everyone is bringing to the table the best of what they have and not fighting. Ultimately, we're looking for power and advantage. That's totally alienated.
We've got some comments here.
Okay.
Pamela says, "Hi, friends. I compete against myself all the time. Ugh."
Oh, thanks for sharing
I
that,
can
Pamela.
identify with that.
Yeah.
Blanquita says, "Hello, Beth and James." And then she sends a big heart of love.
Gracias, Blanquita.
And Jomo says, "A great night of music. One love to you all."
Thank you, Jomo. Thank you so much.
And Amy had said, "Thanks for adjusting the microphone." And it's working. Thanks, Amy. It's a team. It's a team.
It's a team effort. Our
See,
audience.
this is an example of
Exactly.
cooperative, collaborative teamwork.
That's right. The audience helps us. And James can either be embarrassed and feel like a loser, or he can say, "Thank you so much."
Well, I'm glad I
Amy.
opted for the latter.
I'm glad you did too. So, come back every Wednesday night at 6:30 Pacific time for Granny Rocks, where I talk about whatever it is that's up for me or up for the world. And I play the piano at the same time, as you see. And at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time every Wednesday if you want to come live, or any time after. And on Thursdays, I just play the piano in Beth Green's Magical Piano Improvisations, where I actually get to sit down and play a piece, a whole bunch of pieces. And I just love playing the piano for you. And that is Thursday nights at 7. And we have lots of other things. So we invite you to come back and please share this program with others. There's a lot of competition in the world. There's a lot of assumption that winning is a good thing. There's a lot of people who believe in this and push one another and themselves and unconsciously their children who've gotten the message. We've been brainwashed, guys. I say question everything.
Would you like to share that quote that came to you about ambition?
Oh, yes. The quote that came to me about ambition, and this was back, oh my God, I can't even remember when this was, in the 80s.
Well, ambition is anything you put ahead of your own
I
needs.
was going to say.
Yeah.
You didn't let me get it out.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying that this came to me in the 1980s.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
It's still coming to you.
Yes. Ambition is anything you put before your own needs. And I'm proud of Simone Biles for not putting ambition before her own needs, but we need a change of heart everywhere. And the more that we all speak out, the more likely it is that people will start asking the important questions. It's like, why are we doing this? Is this the way it has to be? Just because my mother did it doesn't mean I have to. My mother used to wear a girdle every day. I mean, I don't. Do I have to just because my mother did? So
Right.
there it is. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yes, thanks again. Thanks for coming.
Please put in your comments, your likes, your loves, and share. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.